And welcome into Bon Appetit. You know, we talked about starting off with a great new year and starting off the right way. Well, one of the most important dishes you can have each day is breakfast. That's the good news. The bad news is sometimes we say, oh, not the same old thing day in and day out. Well, there's ways that you can put a little bit of spice into your breakfast. And today we're going to show you a way of using a dust in your scrambled eggs. It's cricket dust, and it's a great way to do it. So we're going to give you some hints as far as how to make some great scrambled eggs and give them a little bit more of a kick. We're going to use things like cheddar cheese as part of it. And then, as you'll see, when we put the eggs inside the bowl and start to mix them together, we're going to make them fluffy by adding milk. We're going to be using some great eggs that my wife raises right here in our own backyard because she has chickens. And of course, you're going to see a variety of color. These are blue eggs along with the brown egg. So let's get the eggs cracked and get this thing moving. We're going to start off with a whisk. We've got them in the bowl. You want to whisk your eggs to make sure that the whites of the eggs are blended totally with the golden brown, not golden brown, just the golden yolks of the eggs. When they're nice and fresh eggs, you can see how beautiful they look because they're a nice golden color. And we're going to blend these together, mixing them with the whisk. Now, if you don't have a whisk, an actual kitchen fork will do fine, but the whisk just kind of gives them a little bit more of a fluff also. So we've got them to this point now, and now we're ready to do the next step, and this is what's going to give your eggs a little bit more fluff, and it's milk. This is 2 tablespoons of milk. Just pour it in, put it to the side, and again, what you're going to do here is you're going to whisk it enough that all the whiteness of the milk is gone, and you're back to where you're just seeing the yellow that comes from the egg, where the yellow is blended in with the white, and now we're ready to put them into the frying pan. Now we're going to start to scramble the eggs. As you can see, we start with a non-stick pan. Even though it's non-stick, I like to put butter in there. It just gives it a little bit of an extra flavor and just makes sure that the eggs are going to just stay. And as you'll see at the end, they'll come out of the pan very, very easy. Now we're pouring our egg mixture that we've mixed together. Of course, there's the egg in there. Then we're going to take a spatula and we're going to start from the outside. Always start from the outside and fold the eggs in toward the center. In doing it this way, you're going to make sure that the eggs don't cook too much on the outside, and you're going to be blending them together as they start to cook. You'll see as they start to cook that there's going to be some moisture on top of the eggs. You want that moisture to be there, but before it gets to where it starts to dry out, we're going to add another little touch to this thing to just give it an extra little flavor and a little bit more of a kick. And that flavor is going to be, we're going to be putting in some of that cheddar cheese that we showed you earlier on today. So the eggs are just about ready. You can see they're getting to a nice consistency there where they're moving almost as looks like it's one great big huge egg all together there. But it's now ready for us to go on to our next step. And our next step is going to be to put that cheese on top of these eggs. Now, the cheese is going to give it flavor. I'm a big cheese lover, so you'll see I'm going to put a lot of cheese inside the pan on top of the eggs. And then we're going to fold them in so that you actually have a nice taste of cheese with just about every bite of egg. I left a little bit of the cheese inside the container because before it's done, I like to sprinkle a little bit on the top. But before I make that sprinkle and put it on the top, I'm going to do what gives this thing the very magical touch that we're looking for, and we're going to be putting on our cricket dust. So we're going to take the cricket dust, we're going to open it up. Now, you can do it to taste, but remember this, that the cricket dust is a seasoning. It's going to be replacing your salt, but it also has many other flavors of seasoning in it, and it's going to give those eggs just the right touch. So now we're ready to take our eggs and plate them. We've had them in the frying pan, and you see we have a nice texture there, and you see they slide right out. There's a whole section of eggs. You can put them here, and then of course you can divide them very easily with a spatula. Take them and put them on a plate so you're ready to serve them. And again, if you want at that point, you can take some ground pepper and grind the pepper on the top. And just remember this, the cricket dust has provided you with a wonderful taste, and it'll take and add for any of the salt that you may want to be putting into the eggs. Of course, put a nice sausage to the side and you're ready for a great healthy breakfast to get you started on a new year. We'll be right back right after this.